Namo Amitabha Buddha. Hello everyone, thank you so much for those who joined us on our last Saturday's chanting session. I really enjoyed it with you and I hope all of you also enjoyed it as much as I did. So last Sunday I shared about the 10 recitation method that was invented by Master Yìnguang, who was the 13th Patriarch of Chinese Pure Land Buddhism. And this method, I believe, was really the most powerful, effective way to help us overcome our thoughts, and it's also incredibly simple. So sometimes people say, yes, I practice Nianfo, but I still have a lot of thoughts on my mind. And yes, I totally understand this, because even if sometimes when we chant the name of Amitabha Buddha, we may still notice there are a lot of thoughts, in the background behind our mind. It's like our minds can really multitask at the same time. Even if we are doing one thing, we can still think of all other things. But this method can really help us effectively to overcome all this and to really bring us into the present. And it's also very simple. So in the past, I shared about different styles of 10 recitation methods. So yes, even with 10 recitation methods, there are different styles. One is that you can chant this name for as many times you like in one breath, and you do it for 10 breaths. Another is you just chant it from 1 to 10. And with the method that was invented by Master Yìnguāng, it's also added a counting. So while you're chanting Namo Amituofo or Namo Amitabha Buddha, you also count. Okay, so this is the first one. You count the numbers of the chant, but you only do it from 1 to 10. So after 1 to 10, after the 10th one, again you come back to 1 to 10, and you do it continuously for as long as you like. So you don't go up to 11th, 12th, 13th, because it just gets complicated and you may forget the count. So what you do is you count Namo Amitabha Buddha, so this is number 1, Namo Amitabha Buddha, number 2, Namo Amitabha Buddha, number 3, Namo Amitabha Buddha, number 4, Namo Amitabha Buddha, number 5. But you don't need to say these numbers out loud, you just need to remember it in your heart, on your mind. So for instance, you can do it like this. I like to use my fingers, and this is also for demonstration purpose. So Namo Amituofo Buddha, 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 Namo Amituofo Buddha. Namo Amituofo Buddha, Namo Amituofo Buddha, Namo Amituofo Buddha. So for each chant, for each name, I clearly know that which number am I up to, so I'm not lost in my count. If you go up to 11, 12, and then later 100, you will definitely forget where you are up to. But with this 10 recitation method, you will clearly remember, okay, which number is the Amitabha Buddha that I'm currently chanting. And you can do it in all different language you like, of course. So Namo Amituofo, 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 Namo Amituofo. So in that way, your mind really becomes busy, because if your mind is thinking about other things, you will not be able to remember the count. So it's like your mind is multitasking at the same time with this meditation, and it really stops other thoughts from coming in. This is really magical. You can try this for just 50 minutes and half an hour. You will realize how quiet the mind becomes and how present you are. So because what happens is, when we have one thought, we don't just have one thought. This one thought contains a series of all other thoughts. Our thoughts are very fast. It's faster than the speed of light. So how can we actually stop all these thoughts coming in, especially if we have one negative thought? It's likely we have a whole bunch of negative thoughts. It's like we have a bag of negative thoughts. In that way, it's really easy for us to just keep in this loop of negative thinking, to be trapped in the vicious cycle of negative thinking. But with this method, it can help us effectively jump out of this cycle of negative thinking, to break the cycle of negative thinking, so our mind can again be filtered and purified and to be in the present. So this is an extremely practical, powerful, effective, and simple meditation that I will recommend everyone to use. So what is so good about Nianfo, and especially about the 10 recitation method, is that you really don't need anything else. Because sometimes people think meditation is difficult. Yes, some meditation practices are actually difficult, and some requires you to sit for a long time, like Vipassana. It's really not for everyone because not a lot of people can sit for such a long time. So what I believe, and a lot of people believe, is that Nianfo practice, due to its simplicity, everyone can practice this, and we can actually overcome a lot of overthinking, overcome a lot of our thoughts, especially the negative ones, simply just by chanting the name of Amitabha Buddha, and also use this 10 recitation method to count it in the background, so that it can really help us to bring us back into the present, and the mind would be too busy to think of other things. So because our thoughts actually shape our reality, it determines how we feel about each moment. So that is why it's so important to transform our thoughts into infinite light and infinite life, which is the meaning of Amitabha Buddha, which resonates with our own Buddha nature. If we want to stay happy and at peace all the time, and we shall practice this as often as possible in our daily life. So I look forward to chanting more with you in the near future. Namo Amitabha Buddha. Namo Amituofo. And Master Yìnguang was also believed to be an incarnation of Bodhisattva Mahasammaprapta. So in the Western Pure Land, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, which is Guan Yin, we all know, and also Bodhisattva Mahasammaprapta, all these big bodhisattvas, they are the primary assistants to Amitabha Buddha, and they have countless incarnations in all different worlds to help deliver sentient beings to the Pure Land.